Okay, everyone. So places. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for PCC Theater Art Department's studio production of Spilling the IdentiTEAs. This is an evening of monologues celebrating the many fantastic identities that we have here at PCC and beyond, and also recognizing and sharing the challenges that we sometimes face with those identities. Just to let you know, there is language and themes in this evening's performance that you may find difficult, so just be advised. I also want to let you all know about our upcoming production, These Shining Lives, directed by Professor Hickman. And I've copied a link into the YouTube chat with our Facebook page where you can get information on how and where to buy tickets. You do need to buy tickets for that show. So just know that it won't be just streaming. So without further ado, I so proudly share with you the work of our students and hand things over to Stephanie.
The Theater Arts program at Pasadena City College would like to acknowledge the sites and people that make up Pasadena City College, PCC's historical past, present, and future. We acknowledge PCC's campus exists on indigenous homelands of the Tonga people. We would also like to acknowledge and have been able as a weirdly teacher and guests of these lands. This acknowledges part of an ongoing and good relations with the people of the land and embodying equity in practice as.
Hello, my name is Nathan Scott, and I am an incredibly nerdy geek. And I have
Hi, I'm Adam
discovered
Montague,
that I
and
may
I
or
am
may not have
keenly
based my
interested about
personality
literature.
on two characters
I'm
from video
Latina,
games.
a
I
Hispanic
don't
woman.
And I
understand
love my
most of
family,
the people
and I
have
love to
Been
be
in
kind to
position
others.
not really
I
okay.
consider myself incredibly selfless, and
I
I have
love to
autism. I'm on
acting.
the autism
I
spectrum,
love to
and
sing jazz, music theater. I'm
I
doing this for
value my
fun.
friends, and
I
I
consider
value my
myself
family,
independent
and I
and
value
and
just
very outspoken.
And I are like,
You talk of fame and happiness, of some brilliant, interesting life. But for me, all these pretty words, if I may say so, are just like marmalade, which I never eat. I don't know what is so delightful about my life. Violent obsessions sometimes lay hold of a man. He may, for instance, think day and night of nothing but the moon. Well, I've got my moon. Day and night I'm obsessed by the same persistent thought. I must write, I must write, I must write. What is there brilliant or delightful in that? I should like to know. Here I am talking to you, excited and delighted, yet never for one moment do I forget that there is an unfinished story waiting for me. I see a cloud shaped like a grand piano. I think to myself, I must mention in the story that a cloud went by shaped like a grand piano. I smell heliotrope. I say to myself, sickly smell, morning shade must be mentioned in describing a summer evening. When I finish a piece of work, I fly to the theater or go fishing in the hope of resting, of forgetting myself. But no. A new subject is already turning like a heavy iron ball in my brain, and I am forced to come to my desk and write and write. Yes, it's a pleasant feeling writing. But as soon as the thing is published, I see that it is a failure, a mistake, that I ought not to have written it at all, and then I am angry with myself and feel horrible. And then the public reads it and says, how charming, how clever, how charming, but not a patch on Tolstoy, or it's a delightful story, but not so good as Turgenev's Fathers and Sons, and so on to my dying day. My stories will always be clever and charming, nothing more. And when I die, my friends passing by my grave will say, here lies Trigorin. He was a charming writer, not so good as Turgenev. Thank you.
I don't know where to begin. I think to some degree, the way that we process information, the way we communicate as individuals is really relevant to our race, our cultural background, and the way that we were raised. See, the way that you're raised has a lot to do with your culture, which has a lot to do with your race. I definitely myself have experienced racism in many different ways, whether it was a job interviewing or being followed in a store. You know, the typical things that happen for the most part. But I think striving to move beyond race is treating race as a negative thing. I feel that people can celebrate race and celebrate other people's races. There's nothing wrong with difference and being different from other people. But when we are saying that we don't see color or we don't see race, what are we really saying? We're asking people of color to erase a large part of who they are, and to what end? To make who comfortable. You know, I've always thought of America as a place where you can be yourself. I always thought that that was the American dream. Thank you.
I learned recently that I can't process the idea of revenge, or rather, I can't perform it. Like, I could imagine myself wanting to hurt somebody if they wronged me, and that version of myself is very effective at hurting people. But can I actually do that? Heck no. I would refuse to hurt others, or even turn from really angry to really scared when confronted. But it all depends. That's just another thing on the list of things that are normal to me, but are anomalies to other people that can be chalked up to autism. You see, autism is something that many people in the world have, and yet nobody really knows what it is, where it comes from, and even experts can be confronted by something new that they haven't seen before. Mostly, people just like to use the words crazy or the very popular word retarded. Those words don't describe me, and they don't describe many other people with autism, and just people with disabilities in general. It's just the only words people can think of when they want to give us a label other than being autistic. We are not crazy. Well, except when we don't like the people that are calling us that, then we say we are very crazy to make them nervous. Another thing I chalk up to the anomaly board is that I am incredibly selfless. If you have ever met somebody with autism, they may talk about how they feel like they are a better person because they have it, such as being selfless. For example, I recently had some very close family friends who needed to move out of their apartment in Pasadena and to Montana. But due to a communication error with the movers, they needed to get rid of 70% of all of their possessions in 2 days. Now, just in general, moving can be horrific and very anxious, and it can produce anxiety. And because of what happened, they were terrified. So terrified that they came to me and my family and they told us that they were scared and that they didn't know what to do. And so I dropped everything. And for those next 2 days, I worked harder than I had ever worked in my life just to help these people. This is a thing that I'm very proud of, and it's a reason why I like that I have autism. But the thing is, I am so selfless that while I would use all of my brain power and functioning to get the goals of somebody other than myself done, I can't even begin to get started on my own. I still am unemployed, and I have not looked for the next college I want to go to for when I transfer yet, simply because I don't have the mental capacity to do so. I would rather focus on the futures of others than my own. I want to write for TV or movies or make fun things, but because of my selfless nature, I would rather spend my days helping my family and friends get through tough times by bringing them water, food, or even handmade presents than give my life a passing glance. While I like that I have autism and that I am as good of a person as I am, I don't know what my future is going to be. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if it's even a possibility at this point, just based on how I don't have the energy to focus on it. There are dangers to being selfless, and that self does not matter. Sometimes I get angry at myself for being so selfless that I want revenge against myself. But you already know how that turns out. Thank you.
You called? Oh, what is this? The Certification Review Board? My license is being revoked? Is this because of the Latino Student Union thing last week, like when we were all in a circle and we were all saying everyone's favorite bands, and they were like Selena, Chicano Batman, Pedro Infante, Bad Bunny, and then I said Harry Styles because look, if it's about that, I swear the only reason why I listen to white people music is because I went to a white high school. And o sea, isn't the look that everybody gave me like punishment enough? I never felt less Latina in my life. Or did I not pass my last certification test? Oh, I studied my whole life for that certification license. Countless telenovelas, newscasts with Jorge Ramos, and let's not forget about all those pan dulces. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's it. The last essay question, I answered it wrong. In the event of apocalypse, or Conchita, it's just Conchita real. Senorita lawyer, is there any way to appeal this decision? Because honestamente, if nacatamales, tamales dulces, humitas, and tamales rojos all still get called tamales, then why can't I also be 100% certified Latina? Oye, it's like I'm being indicted by the Latinidad. And o sea, not all tamales look the same, so should all Latinos be the same? My mom, she's Mexican and lightly tan. My dad, he's Salvadoran and kind of white. And my great-great-grandmother, she's indigena. And let's not forget about the Asian Latinos, the Afro Latinos, and the different languages and the different religions. You know, just because you're a tamale dulce and I'm a tamal de rajas does not mean that I am not a tamale. Thank you.
This semester, I read a play called Fat Pig by Neil LaBute. It describes a romance between an obese woman and a conventionally handsome man. In the final scene, Thomas decided to break up with Helen, and she begs for him to not end the relationship and offers to have plastic surgery on her body in order to keep him. Later, as I reflected on the play, I wondered, what if Helen had chosen herself over Tom? This is my alternate take on Helen's response. Tom, I thought you were better than this. I placed my faith in you. I let you see me naked, vulnerable. No one has ever seen me like that. It's not it. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm so happy. And it's not enough for you? You're the man I want, but you can't be the man that I need. And it's heartbreaking. Even more, it's disappointing. I believed in us, didn't you? Look at the odds. A woman who is over 2 bills paired with a handsome man. But you couldn't look past society. You kept us hidden like an outdated wardrobe or a box of ugly pictures. You were ashamed. You were embarrassed. You were what? Disgusted? Did you start to feel like I was the person you had to walk in front of or behind so no one would believe that we were a couple? I passed up a really good job opportunity so we could stay together in the city. And now you're telling me this isn't working out? Fuck you, Tom. You know, I was going to offer to change for you. Like have surgery, you know, get my stomach stapled or put in one of those lap bag thingies. Something I've never even considered before. But now, when I take a good look at you, and in the light, not in the shadows where you usually lurk, I can finally see the real you. Look at me, Tom. This is who I am. I've always been told I'm too much. But you know what? I'm fine with that. And if you're not, then I guess that's just too bad, so sad for you. I had hoped you could overcome your weaknesses. But coming from a family of strong and solid men, I realize now I could never lessen myself for someone like you. The man that I was created for is the man that can handle all of me. Do you remember when we first met? And I made the first move? Come on, admit it. You were amused by my gumption. I was the one who put myself out there. I was the one who gave you my phone number. I even told you I didn't expect you to call me, and I totally understood why if you didn't. Oh God. I mean, who the fuck did I think I am, right? This troll giving you this Greek god my phone number. The gall, the balls on this chick. Yeah, right. And I obviously have them, and you obviously don't. So, why don't you go over there and ask your buddies for your balls back? Go on. I'll wait. Thank you.
In my childhood diary, I wrote, I've decided it's better not to love anyone because when you love people, then you have to be separated from them, and that hurts too much. If I love you, it means we share the same fantasies, the same madnesses. Ordinary life does not interest me. I seek only the high moment. I am a coach with the surrealist, searching for the marvelous. I want to become a writer who reminds others that these moments exist. I want to prove that there's infinite space, infinite meanings, infinite dimensions. But I'm not always in what I call a state of grace. I have days of illuminations and fevers. I have days when the music in my head stops. Then I mend socks, prune trees, can fruit, polish furnitures. I disregard the proportions, the measure, the tempos of the ordinary world. I refuse to live in the ordinary world as ordinary woman to enter ordinary relationship. I want ecstasy. I am a neurotic in the sense that I live in my world. I will not adjust myself to the world. I am adjusted to myself. I never lose sight of the whole. An impeccable dress is made to be lived in, to be torn, wet, stained, crumpled. I don't really want to become normal, average, standard. I want merely to gain in strength, in the courage to live out my life more fully, to enjoy more, experience more. I would like to develop even more original and more unconventional traits. A reader once wrote to me asking, I would like to have your sureness. I'm waiting for love, the core of a woman's life. Don't wait for it, I said. Create a world, your world, alone, stand alone. And then love will come to you. Then it comes to you.
When he kisses me, I expect to get some glances. It might be a simple stare or perhaps a scornful glare. I won't know if they'll mutter a swear or if they'll even care, but when he kisses me, I won't notice, because with his lips pressed against mine, I will be oblivious to the skies disappearing, volcanoes erupting, earthquakes shattering the ground around me, because in this world of glances, the man I love has found me. And as much as they want to, there is no amount of disapproval they can give us to make us depart our skin from skin. They may try to smear words of sin and debauchery, but those words are not the same as what my church and what God has taught me. They may like to focus on our sexual acts and impurities, unable to see that their minds are full of obscurities, because once you strip off the skin and see what's underneath, you'll find at the center of our tender moments, sealed by lips, the same marks that are at the hearts of sacred scripts. It's an expression of true companionship. It's an expression of love. And any other way people try to define it won't matter when it's seen from above. I have seen these moments of expressions countless times before. Why must it be between two different genders? I'm not quite sure. And although for me, I don't know where this moment will be, I do know that when he kisses me, only love will lie at heart.
I don't get it. You know, I just don't get it. I mean, they say that I was knit in my mother's womb, that God makes no mistakes. So how is it then that I should be condemned for being everything that you made me to be? I mean, they say too that God is all good and all powerful, but was it not God who made Satan? Who showered Abel with love, driving Cain to madness, that burned down the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah just because its people dared to test the limits of human sexuality. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, if God let evil exist, how could he be all good? And if he was powerless to stop it, how could he possibly be all powerful? And you know, who should be the first to cast a stone upon a faggot anyways? You know, the prideful, the greedy, the envious, the gluttons, the sloths. You know, what about the adulterers? Huh? You know, let he who is without sin be the first to crucify me. I mean, you dangled the fruit of knowledge before me, the knowledge of love and sex, of romance and heartbreak, of passion and jealousy. And you know what? Yes, a serpent stumbled into my path. He whispered sweet words into my ears, danced his tongue on my flesh. I let him slither into my garden, and I bloomed. And now you want to condemn me for partaking in the very love that you yourself birthed into this world. What price could I possibly pay for love? For Adam, it was a rib. for Samson, his hair. I've already given you my body and my blood. You ravaged it like it was bread and wine, and you left me to suffer. What other parts of myself could I possibly sacrifice? But with him, I tasted paradise. The taste still lingers on my lips. And he also put me through hell. I have the scars to show for it. And you could baptize me in the lake of fire and hope that I'd emerge straight. But no pain could compare to that of loving him. Of loving me for loving him. Thank you.
Man, it was dark. It's pretty dark. I went there. I kept looking for it. Someone, anything. I wanted to release the feelings of rage inside of me because I just couldn't cope with anyone ever making me feel afraid. I couldn't take it. I had to make those bastards feel what fear was all about. So, I waited outside for minutes, no, hours actually. No one would come in or out of the house. So I took it up in the streets, I walked hell-bent on finding someone who would give me a wrong look, someone who could start in on me. Fuck, I was practically begging for it, man. I remember passing a group of men, and I stared directly into every single one of them. And they weren't the kind of men you want to stare directly into, but I didn't care. Hell, I didn't care about my own fucking life, bro. I wanted it so bad. I wanted them to make a move so bad, I could taste the blood in my mouth. But they didn't, They wouldn't even look at me. And when I walked past them, I felt this sudden rush of sadness because what I was feeling, all this pent up anger I had, it had nothing to do with them, They were all innocent men who had absolutely nothing with what was going on inside myself. It was then that I realized, wow, I was a fool. I was willing to throw it all away, and for what? For what, man? I was willing to hurt innocent people for no good reason, other than the fact that I was blaming them for something they had nothing to do with. God knows how close I came to almost fucking up my life. I've regretted my actions ever since. I was lucky. Thank you.
I'm tired of the movies. All of those glamorous people having adventures, hogging it all, gobbling the whole thing up. You know what happens? People go to the movies instead of moving. Hollywood characters are supposed to have all the adventures for everybody in America, while everybody in America sits in a dark room and watches them have them. Yes, until there's a war. That's when adventure becomes available to the masses, everyone's dish. Then the people in the dark room come out of the dark room to have some adventure themselves. Goody, goody, it's our turn now. To go to the South Sea Island, to make a safari, to be exotic, far off. But I'm not patient. I don't want to wait till then. I'm starting to boil inside. I know I seem dreamy, but inside, I'm boiling. Whenever I pick up a shoe, I shudder a little, thinking how short life is and what am I doing? Whatever that is, I know it doesn't mean shoes. Thank you.
I feel hot. I feel angry. I feel on edge. I feel sad. I feel mad. I feel depressed. I feel like I'm an awful daughter and girlfriend. I'm tired. I'm enraged. I want to throw something across the room. I want to quit everything. My job, my relationships, my friendships, my obligations, my commitments. I want to run away. I love my family, but I want to run away. I need to be somewhere that's quiet. Somewhere that's calm. Somewhere where no one needs me. I need to be able to come back when I feel better. I need my family to know that I love them. I need my family to know that I'm not feeling well. I need my family to know that it's not their fault. I need them to be understanding and forgiving. I don't need to be treated like I'm crazy. I don't need to be provoked or reminded of my condition. Now, I don't drink. But on days like these, I feel like drinking. I need awareness. I need awareness. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adam Montague. I performed a monologue from Anton Chekhov's The Seagull and a monologue from Tennessee Williams's The Glass Menagerie. I am afraid of dying without my life ever having meant anything.
Hi, my name is Tova Petty. My first monologue was from a collection of monologues called The Race Monologues by Tiffany Farmer. And my second monologue was PMDD, My Enemy Within Me by Rachel Garcia. And I'm an advocate for change for people everywhere.
Hello, my name is Nathan Scott. The piece that I spoke was a monologue written by me called The Danger of Being Selfless. And what I want to say is, to me, this is a tool, not a toy.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Arevalo, and I perform Not All Tamales Look the Same from it's a competition called Nosotros Second Annual Ya Tu Sabes Monologue Slam. And I am an OCD, PTSD, and chronic illness warrior. And this is me officially coming out as queer.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Arias-Herrera, and I read the monologue titled A Response to Fat Pig, written by yours truly. I am proud to represent the older student population of PCC.
Hi, my name is Florence Jan. I'm like a lifelong part-time student studying theater and psychology at PCC. My monologue is from the Diary of Anis Ning by Anis Ning. She has a real character that I really look up to. As a story reader and teller myself, I want to become a writer like her, unconventional, psychoanalytic, and full of love.
Hello, my name is Brandon DeSantiago. I performed a piece written by an unknown artist. I am a recovering addict, a person who has been formerly incarcerated, and who is someone currently on probation.
Hi, my name is Marco Machado. I performed a self-written monologue, and I am queer, mixed race, and pagan.
Hello, my name is German Cho, or German Cho. I performed a monologue called The Darker Side of Me by Joseph Arno. And the one thing I want the audience to know about me is that I used to be formerly incarcerated and how I have conquered the darkness by examining my own flaws.
And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Round of applause to our fabulous performers and to coming out. Happy Pride, everyone. I'm sure that you're amazed by these beautiful students as much as I am. They are so brave and so fabulous. So thank you for enjoying this evening of monologues, and take care, everyone.